Last week, I shared with you one of the big fears that keeps many lawyers from doing informational interviews, the fear that they will look like they don't know everything. This week, we're going to talk about the other thing that I find holds many lawyers back from doing informational interviews, worrying about getting a negative reaction from the strangers that they reach out to. Specifically, worrying that they won't be able to explain to those people in other fields exactly why it is that they don't want to be a lawyer. The thought process tends to be something like this. This person is going to wonder why I want to leave the law. They don't know me. How do I explain to them what law is like and why I want to leave? They're not going to understand and they're going to judge me, etc., etc. Today, I'm sharing how to stop this spiral before it starts. I'm Sarah Cottrell. I practiced law for 10 years. And now I help unhappy lawyers ditch their soul-sucking jobs. Here's why you don't need to worry about what someone else in a different field is going to think about you when you tell them that you want to leave the law. Most people, if you approach them with interest about them and wanting to know about them and their experience, frankly, just don't give you that much thought. Within the legal profession, there can be a lot of judginess, but you don't necessarily find that in other fields. So don't go into an informational interview assuming this is going to happen. In most cases, when you're asking questions about other people, they're way more focused on themselves than they are on you. But also, I just want you to know that it is 100% normal to worry about what other people will think and if you're going to be able to explain yourself and why you want to leave the law. Almost every lawyer deals with this. The truth is that part of the process of figuring out what it is that you want to do next is grappling with how authentic you want to be. As lawyers, we're taught to maintain a certain facade that's seen as professional. So part of what you deal with when you decide to make a career change is learning how to set some of that aside. It feels difficult because it is difficult, not because you're doing anything wrong. Also, keep in mind that when you're at the informational interview stage, you are most likely, at least a little bit, if not a lot, still in the mindset that you are not qualified for other things. And so part of the insecurity that you may be feeling about doing informational interviews and having concern that people are going to be judging you is based on this false belief that you have that you're not qualified for anything else. We've talked about it before in other videos on this channel, but you are qualified for other things. And if you find that your concern about being judged is attached in part to this feeling of I'm not qualified, then you need to remind yourself that that is a story that you're telling yourself that is not actually true. And also, yes, there are some things that you're not qualified for, but at this stage, that's not really the question that you're even needing to answer. The question that you're needing to answer is, what is it that you want to do? It doesn't matter if you're unqualified for something that you have no interest in doing. And part of what informational interviews is about is finding out, am I actually interested in this thing? Then, if you are, you can figure out what the qualifications are, and then you can actually assess whether you have those qualifications, if there's something else that you need to go get in terms of like a credential or developing a new skill. But the question of qualifications needs to come after getting the information so that you can even know whether it's something that you want to pursue at all. Because if you're unqualified for something that you determine you don't actually want to do, then who cares? And often what you'll learn in these interviews is that you're actually better positioned than you think you are for this different career. And you'll also get ideas about how to position yourself and how to frame the skills that you do have to target a job in that field. If you think about every possible thing that you might be unqualified for when you go into informational interviews, it's going to feel completely overwhelming. It's much more manageable when you identify what you actually are interested in doing, and then identify particular questions that you need to have answered in order to make a decision. Positioning yourself for a non-legal job is not as hard as it seems once you've truly decided that that is the thing that you want. In fact, I have a video on this channel where I walk you through how to rewrite your resume so that you can target a non-legal job. And I just got an email from someone this week who told me that they used that video to revise their resume and they just accepted a job offer at a new non-legal job. It's really good. You should definitely check it out. It's on the screen. I'll see you in the next video.